Well, hey everybody. Today we find ourselves outside of Quartzsite, Arizona, out in the middle of the desert where all of the giant saguaro cactus live. So we are, well, that's not why we're here though. We're not here to investigate the cactus behind me. So that's just for a great little backdrop. We're actually here to investigate two different locations. So keeping up with our theme that we have going over the last 3 or 4 videos, we're out here to investigate another giant intaglio. Now, I didn't say the G. Score. That's obvious. That's great. I don't know how many of you guys have sent me comments about, please don't say the G when you say the word intaglio. It's Italian. The G is silent. I got it. So we're out here to investigate another giant intaglio or geoglyph that is way out of the way. Not a lot of people come out and take a look at it. So we're going to show you that one, and that's the ancient site. And then we're going to also stop and investigate a little bit more of a modern site. By modern, I mean probably within the last 100 years or so. And not a lot of people know about this one either. So we're going to stop and get both of these locations. But before we go on, before we hit the video, make sure you hit that thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe. Our treasured gems of followers are slowly growing. We really appreciate it. We really appreciate all of the support on the channel. We're trying to get the channel monetized. So please subscribe, please follow, please do the thumbs up for us. And then we'll just keep allowing us to do these videos. So let's go out, take a look at these two sites, one ancient, one modern, and enjoy the spectacular Arizona weather that we have today with no wind. I don't want to jinx it. I don't want to say the word. So right now there is no wind. So we're going to try to get the drone up in the air for you. We're going to take a look at these two locations, and let's head on down the road. So like I said, it's a beautiful day. So I'll see you on down the road. We're heading to the first of two sites we're going to explore today. The first site is known as the Bouse Fisherman and is one of about 200 or so giant intaglios located along the Colorado River in the Mojave Desert of Arizona and California. It lies nearly 25 miles from the Colorado River and is due east from the Blythe intaglios, another larger concentration of geoglyphs. Make sure to check out our video on the Blythe intaglios. I'll put the link in the description below. It is not known who created the Bouse Fisherman, but it could date back to about 900 BCE, about the same time period as the other Colorado River geoglyphs. It was created by scraping away the dark top layer of the desert pavement to reveal a lighter clay layer underneath. It is believed the Bouse Fisherman depicts the story of a god who thrust a spear into the ground to make the mighty Colorado River flow. All right, well look, we have found Rock Dr. Dad. He's standing right here before our little hike that we have to do in this closed area. So we're gonna go and we're gonna hike up the what looks like an old 2-track road. So we're gonna hike on up there. So, and Rock Dr. Dad is right here. Are you gonna hike with us today?
I don't believe so.
Okay, so we're gonna go over here and we're gonna take a look at a giant geoglyph called the Bouse Fisherman. Now I know something about you, that you absolutely loved fishing.
Yes, I do.
Yes, so this one is a giant intaglio that actually shows a human-like figure with a spear, spearfishing. Did you ever spearfish?
No, I never did.
Well, we're going to go over here and take a look at the intaglio, and then we'll show you what it looks like as soon as we get back.
That sounds like a winner to me.
All right. Hold the fort down.
I will.
Okay. All right, we got to make our way up the little 2-track road. I don't think it's very far over here. It's actually probably less than, it might be just at the top of the mountain up here. So let's go up and take a look and see what we can see when we get to the top. but I don't think it's very far. And this one, from what I've been able to see on Google Maps, this one actually is protected with a fence. So like we showed you with the Parker snake, that one was just out in the middle of nowhere and there was no fence around it or anything like that. So this one actually is fenced in and is somewhat protected. So I would imagine this one's going to be a little bit more in pristine condition. So actually it's off in the distance there. I don't know if you can see it. I don't think I can bring my finger in, but it's essentially, I'll put an arrow in. I won't bring my finger in, I'll put an arrow in. It's essentially like right in front of us there. All right, so let's walk on over to the fence. This is what the desert looks like right around the giant geoglyph. And it looks like the cholla cactus is putting on its spring attire. The little yellow that you see on the tops, that's new growth. So my mother, Rock Doctor Mom, used to call those jumping cactus because she thought that they would jump out and grab her and get her. Now, this somewhat is true, but you do actually have to brush up against them. You have to come in contact with them before they grab you. But they are a vicious cactus. It's a beautiful day today. Unfortunately, this is about the temperature where we start to see all of our little slithering friends start coming out from the rocks. So we're gonna have to watch out for any sort of snakes that may be around. So let's make our way on over to the fenced area, and then hopefully we'll be able to see what's known as the Bouse Fisherman. All right, looks like we're in the right area. However, this is not where it's located, so we're gonna have to hike on over to see it. It's a little bit further on up the mountain, but I'll include the picture here. So remember, on YouTube you can pause and you can read. So if I don't put this on here long enough, you can always pause the video, read it, and then take a look at the video. So all right, let's mosey on up the trail. So it must be at the next little fenced area that I see up there. We're gonna run out of fenced areas here pretty quick, but let's mosey on up the trail. Here comes Rock Doctor Daughter, and we've got the drone. So like I said, there's actually no wind right now. So we're gonna go on up here, and we actually have the place to ourselves. So we are going to head on up the trail and get the drone up in the air and take a look at what the Bouse Fisherman looks like from the air. At least I'm hoping, Rock Doctor Daughter over here, I'm hoping she can get a great shot today. It's ideal conditions. The skies are blue. It's beautiful out here. So let's take a look at, once we get up here, we can see the intaglio. All right, the fence is considerably smaller than I thought it was going to be, as is the geoglyph. But it is literally right in front of us here. The trail goes around, but the fence is only 2 feet tall. We'll go over and take a look at that sign. And like I said, you can pause the video to take a look at the sign if you would like. But the intaglio is right there. And it looks like someone has outlined the spear in white. So when Rock Doctor Daughter gets the drone up in the air, the white thing that you see there, that is the spear tip, I think. And there's a fish on the ground. Hard to see from this point. Just like all the other giant intaglios, this is really difficult to see from the ground. But that's where the drone comes into play. And then here, for those who would like to pause and read the sign, I'll include this. That's what we're looking at, which is right there. There's a fish right here, another fish right over there, and the fisherman is right up there, and the white little triangle you see on the ground, that's the edge of the spear. So from the ground, exceptionally difficult to see. So that's why the drone is so important, to be able to see these from looking straight down on it. Now you can see the fisherman right there. Rock Doctor Daughter's working on the drone. Trying to get it connected to the phone. And we're going to do the little one today, and maybe we're going to try to get the big one up in the air as well. But big one is experimental, so I'm not sure if we're going to include any of the footage from the big drone yet. We're not quite expertise on it, so we're definitely going to get the small drone up. So here it actually goes. All right, it looks like Rock Doctor Daughter is going to be getting the big drone out. So we're going to see what we can do with the big drone. This is flight number 3 for the big drone. So we'll see what we can do with this, and hopefully we'll get a little bit better image quality, a little bit better flight quality. The bigger drone has a gimbal camera, so a gimbal mount camera, so it's definitely, it gives a smoother image. So let's see what we can do. This may or may not be included in this video. We'll see. So like I said, flight number 3, so stay tuned. Flight number 3. It looks like Rock Doctor Daughter is having a little too much fun with the new drone. She's going to fly over and check on the other two back at the car. You have now seen both drones at work. Let us know in the comments what you think of the images from the new drone. We are still trying to get all the settings perfected, so any suggestions in the comments would be greatly appreciated. Okay, everybody wave. It looks like everything is great back here. So let's fly back and get one last look at the Bouse Fisherman. We're on our way back towards Quartzsite to explore our second location of the day. It's a much more modern site. only dating back about 100 years. I don't want to give too much away, as I want you to tell me in the comments what you think it was used for. It's only a couple of miles down the road, so I'll meet you there. Here we are at the second site. This is a lot more modern than the Bouse Intaglio that we just took a look at, the Bouse Fisherman. So let's take a walk and take a look at it. This is a lot different than the other intaglios that we have been taking a look at recently. This is actually not a Native American intaglio. This was actually built in the 1930s. All right, we're coming up on the modern, not really intaglio, but modern letters that spell out something special in the desert here. So there is a giant Q, and we're going to be going on down. You can see the rest of them going right down in front of me here. There is the U. And there's the A. And there's the R. And there's the T. So that is quartz. The S. There's an I. So if you haven't figured out by now, I'd be willing to bet that we're actually probably spelling out quartzite in giant letters, followed with a giant circle, an arrow, and a giant 11, which I'll give you a hint, that means that quartzite is 11 miles in that direction. Now from the drone, you're really going to be able to see quartzite with the compass, the arrow, and the 11. And then we'll chat what this was actually used for. Actually, what I want you to do, before you read or listen to the rest of the video, leave a comment. What do you think this was actually used for? And then right across from it, we have a dash with a giant N in that direction, which signifies north is directly over those mountains right in front of us. So it gives you a compass direction from an altitude. So if you're a low-flying aircraft looking down, you know that quartzite is 11 miles directly behind me, and north is this direction, directly right over the mountains. The Quartzsite Rock Alignment was constructed for early airmail pilots. The name and arrow pointed to an airfield that was named after and located in Quartzsite, Arizona, near the current I-10 and Highway 95 intersection. It was listed in the 1931 descriptions of airports and landing fields as being quartzite field auxiliary, having 2 landing strips in a T-shape. The airfield was on early 1930s pilot maps, but was gone by 1938. After 1938, the name Buck Connor Field shows up in the same location. The Buck Connor Field was renamed Quartzsite Field in 1947. Today, the old airstrip has been lost to time. It is currently an open field with little left to show its fascinating airline history. Well, I want to thank everybody for coming along on our little adventure today, taking a look at the Quartzsite Airmail beacon on the ground. Not really a beacon. I don't think it lit up in the 1930s, but the Quartzsite Airmail Alignment. And also, we also looked at the Bouse Intaglio, which is directly right behind me. So if you like this kind of video, make sure that you give it a big thumbs up, and by all means, it's free. Please subscribe. Our treasured gem collection of all of our subscribers, it's slowly growing. We really appreciate everybody who subscribes to our channel. So please consider giving it a big thumbs up. We're off to take a look at some very historical areas next, and it may, as a little hint, it may actually feature a little bit more of Rock Dr. Dad, taking him back to the 1940s. So stay tuned for that one. But if you like this kind of video, please make sure you give it a big thumbs up. Make sure you hit that big subscribe. And as always, don't take a trip, let the trip take you. I'll be seeing you on down the road.
As the chemicals that take us higher. The night's young, it has just begun. As she puts her hand in mine.